All right, we're going to continue talking about switch loops. I challenged you in one of the previous parts about switch loops to comment the code reference where it talks about switch loops. So in this video, I'm going to give you that code reference, and I'm going to give you 4 rules to installing switch loop applications code compliantly. Okay, so the code article that we're going to be opening to is article 200.8c. Okay, so Article 200 is use and identification of the grounded conductor, and here use of insulation of white or gray color with 3 continuous or white or gray stripes. So C talks about circuits of 50 volts or more. Conductors that have insulation that is white or gray or that has 3 continuous white or gray stripes shall be used for other than grounded conductors only as permitted in the following. Okay, so C1 is what I'm going to be reading. So cable assemblies. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it, and then I will discuss the 4 rules. So conductors that are a part of a cable assembly that have the insulation permanently re-identified to indicate their use as ungrounded conductors in accordance with 310.6a3 by marking tape, painting, or other effective means at their termination and at each location where the conductors are visible and accessible shall be permitted if identification encircles the insulation and is a color other than white, gray, or green. Okay? If used for single pole, 3-way, or 4-way switch loops, there's the word switch loops, the re-identified conductor shall be permitted to be used only for the supply to the switch, but not as a return conductor from the switch to the outlet. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward. Like, I don't think there's too much wordplay going on here, but again, I think it's very easy to look over these rules. So the first rule that I want to identify is the fact that it's only allowed in cable assemblies. What is a cable assembly? Okay, something like Romex or MC cable is a cable assembly that you purchase in the store, and all the wires are assembled in it. Okay, so if you buy 14.2, for instance, like we have in this diagram, 14.2, you purchase it, you strip the sheathing, and you have a black conductor, ungrounded, your white, you're grounded, and then your bare, which is your grounding conductor. Okay, they're already assembled by manufacturer's design. Okay, so I mean, if you tried a switch loop using some other method that's not a cable assembly, like, I don't know, EMT conduit or PVC conduit, the inspector is going to be like, why the heck did you do that? Just pull the white insulated wire and make that your grounded conductor. Or pull a different color, a red one, a black one, a blue one, whatever the case is, for your ungrounded conductor. So rule number 1 for switch loops is that you can only do it for a cable assembly. The second rule that you can see in this same code article is that that white insulated conductor that again is not being used as a neutral, it's used as a hot. It has to be re-identified to look like a hot at every termination and location that it is present in. So that's why I re-identified it in this light box as well as this switch box. Okay, what are the other rules? Okay, here it says if used for single pole, 3-way, or 4-way switch loops, that re-identified conductor shall be permitted to be used only for the supply to the switch. Okay, as you can see, it is supplying power directly to the switch. We are not allowed to bring the power from that white wire to the light. Now, is it dangerous to do it that way? No. The inspector is not going to say, hey, you almost burnt the place down. He's just going to say, it's a silly code violation, just switch it, okay, just to make it code compliant. Okay, so those are 3 rules written down here. The 4th rule that I want to bring up is a rule that I talked about in a previous part when we talked about Article 406, where it told us that you need to have a neutral in a switch box in habitable rooms and occupiable spaces. You need to have at least 1 neutral in a switch box in a room, basically. Okay, so before you do a switch loop, you need to look at your room and say, okay, are there multiple switches controlling the same light? Because if there's not, then you probably can't do a switch loop like this, and you need to have at least 1 neutral present in a switch box in a room. So those are my 4 rules for switch loops based on the NEC code standards. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that gave you guys some clarity. If you have any questions, or if you'd like me to talk about something more specific, comment down below, and I hope this one helped you guys. I'll see you on the next one.